Mystical powers or extreme memory. We've heard for decades that humans only use 10% of their brain, but is this true? Well, not exactly. Different parts of the brain have different functions, and it's nearly impossible to use them all at once. But what if it was possible? What if we used 100% of our brain at one time? Hello and welcome back to Life's Biggest Questions, the channel that loves encouraging people to use more of their brain to ask more questions, even when they're things like, what if Voldemort fought the Megalodon? Why? Because imagination is an excellent use of brain function. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and today I'm asking, what if we used 100% of our brain? Before we get into this video, I want to ask you guys what you think about most in a day. I usually think about food and adventures. I love it. Let me know your thoughts, literally, in the comments section down below, and also please do hit that thumbs up button and stick around to the end of the video to hear some comments read out. Okay brain, what do you have for us today? The brain is a total of 3% of your total body weight. That doesn't seem like much. What if I told you that it uses 20% of your body's total energy? That's a lot of energy for one organ to consume, but why does it do this? The different parts of the brain have different functions, as I mentioned before. The frontal lobe controls movement, concentration, speech, problem solving, and smell, and it is also the one that we hear about the most. The other parts have their own functions as well. I just don't want to list them all and put you all to sleep. There are 5 sections of the brain that work together depending on the task you're completing. For example, watching this video, you are using your occipital lobe to be able to see it. Your temporal lobe controls your hearing, and your frontal lobe controls your concentration. If there were a task that could utilize all functions of the different lobes of the brain at once, then what would happen? There is always the reliable "we would gain superpowers" dialogue. Various media outlets have provided explanations as to how using 100% of our brain would improve our abilities, from accelerated perception to being a genius with strategy, and sometimes vegan-based powers. I would stroke my beard if I had one. So this could also heighten our senses, causing us to really figure out which one of you didn't wear deodorant in the middle of summer, which is not something I'm particularly interested in. Maybe I don't want to smell that bad. This would cause a regime to rise for those who would use 100% of their brain. They would be superpower-yielding overlords, assuring that every little aspect of our life was perfect. They would be able to smell your unwashed clothes, hear your phone on vibrate instead of silent in a movie theater, and see how disappointed your date is that you didn't kiss them goodnight. Basically, they would be super perceptors. They would also be hypergenii, installing street cameras and watching us 24/7. The overlords, who want to be called the 1% for irony's sake, would oppress the normal humans so much that it would cause a rebellion. The only way the rebellion would win is if they had their own 100% brain users among them, so they'd be able to evade the enemy detection. It's all escalating pretty hard. And the worst part about this scenario is that we don't know what these people would have done to gain access to their entire brain. As we try to recreate whatever origin story they had, they would be there laughing at us, appreciating our pain. Maybe they would lead us on, give us some clues which are probably false to begin with, and watch us squirm quickly to become one of them and evade oppression. But what could we do to use 100% of our brain at once? Now this really depends, because we would really need to define an activity that could require the use of every part of the brain. As I said earlier, watching this video is making use of your frontal lobe for concentration, but what about its other functions? Well, grab some hot sauce and start sniffing because it controls your sense of smell. Start blabbering because speech is controlled here as well. Start tapping your feet, or if you're really brave, do the wave to get your speech working. Hopefully you're still holding that bottle of hot sauce because the parietal lobe controls your senses of touch and pressure. Put some on your tongue because it also controls your taste. And pay attention to your surroundings because you need to be aware of your body. Since you're blabbering, try talking properly in another language if you know one. If not, just use your native one, and turn on captions to read this as well. The cerebrum controls coordination, so start hopping from one foot to the other at the same time as doing all of the rest of the stuff that you're already doing. It seems very stressful. The temporal lobe controls your hearing and facial recognition, so listen to this video carefully and let's throw the face of someone that you know onto the screen. Whoa! Sensory overload! If you manage to do all of these things at once, you still aren't using 100% of your brain. Your brain has so many more functions than what was listed right here, and there is honestly no way to use them all at the same time because you would legitimately go mad. However, if you somehow manage to use every single function of your brain at once, your brain would require so much blood that your other organs would start to become deprived, causing your body to begin shutting down your kidneys and perhaps even your liver. Your stomach would need to stop digesting, causing all kinds of different issues. Your lungs would start to hold less and less oxygen, to a point where your heart may even not be getting enough to keep pumping around, causing a heart attack. Okay. This is extreme. Technically, your brain is always using its full potential in some way or another. Whilst watching this video, your brain is also keeping your breathing, your heart beating, your stomach digesting, and your delicious lunch, which you could have shared with me, by the way, because I'm always hungry, and you can feel the pressure from yourself sitting down on the chair, or the pressure of standing up. 10% of your brain is being used to watch and pay attention to this video, while the other 90% of what needs to be used is busy performing the rest of the functions that you need to survive and live your life. So why are we wanting more from our brain when it is the thing keeping us alive and making sure that we don't forget to breathe? The brain is a truly remarkable organ, and we should be appreciating it rather than asking how I can get more out of it. On an unrelated note, how could I help improve my brain's power? The easiest thing to do would be stimulating your brain. This could be with a game, like a puzzle, or just going out and being with nature. You can also exercise, take naps, my personal favorite, meditate, eat well, and try new things. Putting all of these things together can help increase your ability to focus, improve your coordination, help your reading and writing, and even help you live longer. So I guess there actually is a way to get superpowers by using our brains after all. Well, that is that. What do you guys think? What do you spend most of your day thinking about? Do you ever get stress headaches from just thinking about too much? Because I feel like that's what this video has done to me. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Before I go, I'm just going to read some comments from one of our recent videos. What if all of the nukes went off at the same time? What a question, what a title. Hero Kurbane said, what if all of the nukes were never developed? See, I think that would be actually quite a nice question to answer. Mylin said, I haven't watched it yet, but we all die. Edit. I was right. Haha. Ari Macy said, can you make a video on what if everything was free on Earth? Oof. I mean, I think we could actually. That sounds pretty cool. Elijah Jones said, if all the nukes went off on Earth, then we wouldn't be able to watch your channel. Ho ho ho. Aren't you right? But be thankful that they haven't and that you still have thumbs to like this video with. Shoehorn. Video ending. Thank you guys for watching. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate. I'll catch you in the next video. But until then, stay curious, stay alert, and never ever stop questioning.